For the first time in 13 years since I assumed the post at the Student Affairs Office, the University Student Council Week will not be held at the North Quadrangle of Centro Escolar University, Manila.
What's up, Escolarians? Hello! Good afternoon! Welcome to this year's USC Weekends 2021 entitled BYAHE, Boarding the Youth Along a Humanistic E-Life.
And for the first time, USC Week to be done online. Will that really be possible? The Festival of Colors, the journey of the schools, past, present, and future, the face mask competitions, the messages of all 13 past USC presidents since 2009. That's magical. See it for yourself. Spread the news that you too believe in magic. This is the best time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings.
I'm Princess Jordan saying, mabuhay ka! Mahal naming pamantasan! Tuloy ang biyahe! See you next Saturday! Bye!
The best way to bring change.
To register and to vote.
To register and vote.
To register and to vote.
Register and vote.
To register and vote.
To register and to vote.
To register and vote.
To register and vote.
Gentlemen, presenting the schools and organizations of Centro Escolar University, Manila, starting with School of Accountancy and Management.
School of Dentistry.
School of Education, Liberal Arts, Music, and Social Work.
School of Medical Technology.
School of Medicine.
School of Nursing.
School of Nutrition and Hospitality Management.
School of Optometry.
Diplomacy!
School of Science and Technology.
University-wide organizations. Universities Student Council, Manila.
What is your best memory?
As a USC officer?
One thing you love doing the most as an officer.
What is the most important thing you realized during this pandemic? What is your goal?
As a leader.
I have lots of good memories being an officer. But the best one I have is my first USC week, and that was last year. Back then, we spent months of planning every single detail of the event. I get to meet and spend time with our USC alumni.
Lahat naman best memory for me. Pero yung pinaka the best para sa akin, yun yung sama-sama kaming napapagod, sama-sama kaming nagpaplano, sama-sama kaming na-relief, nabubungta ng tinik, nawawala yung pagod namin. Yun yung best memory para sa akin. Sama-sama kaming naghihirap pero sama-sama din kami gumiginawa.
I can still remember yung lagi namin sinasabi na, guys, nakaka-enjoy mapagod kapag kasama kayo.
Dito mo mararanasan lahat. Dito mo halos maranasan yung difficulties, problems, and situation na dapat mong lagpasan. And dito mo rin marirealize na magagawa mo pala siya.
Yung time na nagpaplano kami ng mga activities para sa mga students kasi iniisip ko talaga kung ano yung the best para sa mga students. Kung ano, paano mo sila mapapasaya.
napagtanto ko ngayon nagka-pandemya ay yung mga plano natin, hindi talaga siya yung masusunod, kundi yung plano ng Panginoon para sa atin. At natutunan ko na maikli lang talaga yung buhay. Kaya gawin mo yung magpapasaya sa'yo, kasama ng mga taong nagpapasaya sa'yo.
My goal as a leader is to motivate others to become leaders. Influence others to serve as well. And not just to serve for the position, but to serve for a reason, for a purpose.
Well, my goal as a leader is to continue inspiring the youth to keep on pushing themselves, keep on reaching their limits. And once they reach the limit, they have to break it. And after breaking it, they have to reach further. Because I believe that the only thing that stops us from reaching our full potential is ourselves.
Number one goal as a leader is to inspire the youth and aspire them to become a great and responsible leader that this country needs. The best way to bring change?
To register and to vote.
To register and vote.
To register and to vote. Register and vote. To register and vote.
To register and to vote.
To register and vote.
To register and vote.
Let us all bow our heads for the opening prayer to be led by Mr. Juan Carlos R. Caranceja. This will be followed immediately by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem to be led by the CU Singers Manila.
Almighty God, we welcome you amongst us today and celebrate the gift of life that you have lavished upon each of us. Thank you for the beauty and majesty we see in your creation. We ask that you would open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom. Open our spirits so that we may know your leading and guidance. Open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. And open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Thank you for the opportunity to care for the world you have made. We ask that your blessing would rest on this seminar, that you would continue to give us great vision and enthusiasm for service. Please bless the efforts of our hands, tighten the bonds between and among us, and may our work inspire and influence others to keep our university at these trying times strong and vibrant here and beyond. Lord, as we share and learn together, lead us to where you want us to be. Let your Holy Spirit guide us now and always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Bayang magiliw Halos ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong maghaw. Malilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang islat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Escolarians, let us all welcome our host for today, Miss Pamela Grace C. Corpus and Miss Micaela Alisa V. Flores.
A warm afternoon to all our Escolarian viewers. I am Pamela Grace C. Corpus, your University Student Council Second Vice President.
And I am Micaela Alisa V. Flores, your University Student Council Manila Treasurer, and we are your hosts for today.
Yes, hello everyone. We welcome you all to the second Saturday of the USC Weekends 2021 BYAHE, our summit, now called an e-conference entitled YAPAK, Hakbang Karunungan, with the sub-theme Changing MAC, Mindset, Attitude, and Culture.
Yes, hello! So, kamusta kayong lahat dyan? I hope you are all ready to hear from our guest speaker today and also to learn more from him, because me and Tammy are very thrilled to host the program and interact with you guys today. So, ayun, nakikita ko marami ng greetings sa atin, no?
Ayan naman, kaya naman feel free to comment down below your expectations for today's e-conference, because we would like to hear from you guys. So as usual, give the comment section some life and energy. Ayan! Let's go mga kabiyahe!
Ayan, nakikita ko na ang energy. Tama ka dyan, Pami. And I know you guys, walang kahit na anong rason o pandemic man ang makakahadlang sa energy and support nyo. Kaya naman, let us all liven up and greet each other through our comment sections, whether sa Facebook man, YouTube, or CEU workplace kayo nanonood. So, ayan, alright. Of course, Pami and Escolarians who are watching us today, I would miss sharing with you the objectives of our e-conference for this Saturday. So, of course, first is to explore practical ways to enhance one's cooking skills, especially when faced with uncertain situation. Cultivate a positive attitude amidst difficult times. Adapt engaging ways to change one's mindset amidst the challenges faced in the new normal. And lastly, to discover an emerging culture for Escolarian student careers.
Yes, you got that right, Ate Mikay. And this year's e-conference will surely be different from all the webinars we've attended, because this will hopefully serve as our push to challenge ourselves every day. So I hope you are all ready. Now, to finally start the second day of our BYAHE, we would like to call on the chairperson of this event to send her opening messages. Everyone, let us all welcome our University Student Council Manila Secretary, Ms. Sofia Marie T. Gregorio.
To the Administrative Council, Council of Deans, and Department Heads, to my fellow Escolarian and all present here with us today, a warm afternoon to all of you. It is a great honor for me to share my message with all of you. Today, as we continue our journey to discover an emerging Escolarian culture in this new normal, we are pleased to welcome you and celebrate with you our next stop sa ating biyaheng Escolarian entitled YAPAK Hakbang Karunungan. As one of the highlights of the USC Weekends 2021, this e-conference with the theme Changing Mind, attitude, and culture will help us to stop, look, and listen to our invited special guests will share with us and see for ourselves what perspective do we have in life as we continue to explore and adopt engaging ways to change our mindset amid the challenges we are facing. This day, we will explore, learn, and challenge ourselves as we discover how small things, decisions, and ways of thinking can have a dramatic impact on our attitude as well as on our culture as an Escolarians as we face the challenges in this new normal. Once again, I am Sofia Marie C. Gregorio, your University Student Council Secretary. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Sophie, for that message and for welcoming us all with your warm and kind words and for enlightening us for today's e-conference. So, by the way, Escolarians, we would just like to inform everyone watching here today on how to access your CEU workplace. And we are highly encouraging all our Escolarians to visit the space made solely for our community here in CEU.
That's right. The CEU workplace can also be a platform for student leaders, especially when we are conducting activities or events for our respective schools and organizations. Weekends, as we all know of, are meant for both student activities and resting. That is why the CEU workplace was made to keep us active online for the whole year round. So make sure, guys, to check it out and also to try to watch our lives through CEU Workplace too. You can access us, the lives, through CEU Workplace.
Yes, that's right. So please stay tuned for all the activities na pwede nating abangan from our university. And before we introduce our guest speaker for today, it is but fitting to first hear some inspirational words from our dearest university president and chief academic officer. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padalina.
Greetings to the Escolarians of Manila. I'm very happy to join you in your USC weekends. I missed your opening day last week, but thanks to your advisor, Dr. Carlito Olaer, he shared with me your activities. Ang saya-saya were his words. Congratulations to the CEU Manila Student Council officers led by Maria Bernadette Nakagami for your leadership, for giving of your time to your fellow Escolarians in organizing this series of weekend activities. Thank you too to Vice President Carlito Olaer and the other advisors for their inspiration and support. When the pandemic hit us and we had to observe distancing from each other to prevent the transmission of the virus, especially because we may not know that we or the persons we are interacting with are carrying and spreading the deadly virus. This preventive measure was initially called social distancing. Many objected to this term because of the connotation of being cut off from others. So the term physical distancing was coined instead. And thanks to the advances in communication technology, social connection can happen even if we are physically distant. This activity that you are doing now is testimony to that. We are very happy that you, our students, are so tech savvy that you have helped our university carry out its tagline this year of continuing education and engagement in the university. The tagline that bears our letters, the letters of our university, CEU, stands for continuing education and engagement in the university. Social connection is a core human need and is crucial to one's health and well-being. Your initiatives in keeping the social connections among you as students and between you and the rest of the university community is very important. What you are doing is strengthening the sense of belonging of you, our students, to the CEU community. We all need to feel socially connected, to know that there are persons we can reach out to. This sense of belonging also fosters a sense of responsibility for others. Me, knowing that I can depend on you, and you, knowing that you can depend on me. This community mindset makes us stronger in facing the challenges of life. I hope that these weekends that you have planned to be together will create a feeling of connectedness to each other, even if you are literally kilometers apart, and a sense of belonging to a community, the CEU community, even if you may not have met face to face. So have fun, Escolarians. But remember, always stay safe, stay healthy.
Ayan, just like what Dr. Padulina has said, online activities such as this one was made for us to connect socially despite our present circumstances. That is why we encourage every one of you to stay tuned for the coming activities of this celebration. I hope we can all still enjoy kahit kakatapos lang ng ating midterms. And as usual, always stay safe and stay healthy. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Padulina, for gracing us with your wise words.
Ayun, thank you very much po. And ayan na nga, we know that everyone is very excited and eager to feed themselves with knowledge. That's why it is time to introduce our guest speaker for today. Yan, excited na tayong lahat dyan, I'm sure. Kaya naman, he is a professor and head of Department of Sociology and former research director of the Research Center for Social Sciences and Education at the University of Santo Tomas, Philippines. He was the president of the Philippine Sociological Society from 2017 to 2018 and vice president for Asia in the Research Committee on the Sociology of Youth, RC34, from 2014 to 2018 of the International Sociological Association. His research interests are sociology of childhood and youth, sociology of work and employment, and qualitative and mixed methods.
Yes, and he also obtained his AB in Sociology from the University of Santo Tomas, a Masteral in Sociology from the University of the Philippines, Dalaman. And having completed his graduate studies in North America, including a PhD in Sociology at Dalhousie University in Canada and an International Research Fellowship at Brown University in USA. He has been challenged through his involvement in Global South Youth Studies project to center the works of Southeast Asian theorists and Filipino academics in his sociological research. He actively serves as policy consultant in the Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education of the Philippine government.
He continues his standby research through the project Pilipinong Kabataang Naghahabi ng Buhay or Filipino Youth Weaving Lives and leads the National Catechetical Study commissioned by the Catholic Bishops' Conference in the Philippines, which allows him to investigate more closely the present-day dynamics of the sociology of Catholicism in the Philippines.
Wow, sobrang excited na ako.
Yes.
So kayo ba, Escolarians, are you ready?
Mukhang ready na kayo, kaya naman,
let us all welcome Dr. Clarence M. Batan.
Mapagpalang hapon sa ating lahat. Ako po si Yayet, Dr. Clarence Batan. At ang kauna-unahan kong natutunan sa lahat ng aking speaking engagement at pinagbabahaginan ay magpasalamat. So, itong kauna-unahan kong gagawin, magpasalamat sa inyong lahat. This is my first time to be invited by the institution whom I've known is a beautiful institution, the Centro Escolar University. So, thank you CEU, lalo na ang University Student Council Manila, ang USC officer sa batch 2020-2021. Pinahanga niyo ako na sa gitna ng pandemya, meron kayong mga ganitong mga activities para sa inyong mga kasamahan sa Central Scholar at maging marahil dahil virtual ito sa mga ibang mga kasama natin at mga kaibigan nyo. Siguro pati mga magulang nyo at mga kaibigan nyo sa ibang pamantasan ay nagiging bahagi din ito. Salamat sa mga administrators ng CEU, sa ating President, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina, ang inyong presidente at ang ating Chief Academic Officer. Nagpupugay po mula po dito sa University of Santo Tomas. Although now, nandito ako sa aming batong bahay dito sa Rizal, sa Binangon ng Rizal, coming to you from my very simple place here sa Binangon ng Rizal. Maraming salamat din kay USC Advisor and Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Carlina Olaer. Maraming salamat po at binigyan niyo po ako ng pagkakataon na magkaroon ng panahon upang magbahagi ng ilang idea tungkol sa buhay at pamumuhay dito sa panahon ng pandemya. Thank you too to Pamela and Micaela for the introduction and to Sophie na nag-aalaga sa akin dito sa invitation na to. I am here responding to your call to make a step. Humakbang kasama nyo, mga Central Oscolarians, at tinanggap ko po ang imbitasyong ito dahil naengganyo ako sa konsepto ng USC weekend na biyaheng Menjola. Kasi ang totoo nito, kakaibang biyahe ito. Although, palagi ko nalalampasan lang ang Menjola kasi papunta sa USC o papunta sa Quiapo. Ang totoo nito, hindi pa ako nakakapasok sa loob ng CEU. Kaya sabi ko nga, masaya siguro, no? Kung literal at physical, ay magkakasama tayo doon sa isang auditorium para magbahaginan. Mag-share ako sa inyo ng aking kaunting kaalaman. Pero hindi physical ang method natin ngayon, kundi digital ang ating platform. Kaya ang tanong, katulad ng tanong ni Dr. Padolina, posible ba kaya ang pagkatuto, right? Oo. Sa digital realm. Is it possible to learn through this digital virtual realm, no? So, naatasan po ako magpaliwanag gamit ang YAPAK, Hakbang, Karunungan. Kaya ngayong hapon ito, naghalungkat ako ng aking mga presentations at sa aking palagay, ito yung makakapagbigay paliwanag sa paksang ito. And let me now share my screen with you so I can fully express how the things that I would like to share with you today. Okay? So, ito na. May tatlong bahagi lang akong ibabahagi sa inyo ngayon, tatlong konsepto. Life course, livelihood, and transition. Tahaking buhay, hanap buhay, at pagbabago. Kaya, magsimula na tayo, no? Ako ay isang sociologist. At sa presentation na ito, may apat itong bahagi, no? Konteksto, bakit ano, why, bakit ano ang presentation na ito. Change, ano yung nangyayari sa mundo natin. And makikita nyo na kahit pre-pandemic yung presentation, i-relate ko ito sa pandemic situation natin ngayon. Kung nakita mo na yung pagbabago, ano yung competence? Ano yung kailangang meron tayong skills para natin maintindihan ang ginagalawan nating lipunan? And the challenge is that, so what do we do with that? What do we do with our social world? I'm going to share these 4 dimensions with you, and I hope that in the end, you will understand that taking the bigger step for life is not as easy as you thought. You have to have some conceptual tools and some social skills in order to navigate the very challenging world that we are facing right now. So let me start with the context, no? Why this presentation? Well, the first wisdom of sociology, or in sociology, and this is Peter Berger, and I quote, "Things are not what they seem." So before the pandemic, I'm sure because you are in control of many other things, you thought everything is normal, then you thought that we could control it. Unfortunately, things are not what they seem. Marami mga bagay ang nagbibigay sa atin ng gulat sapagkat akala natin, alam na natin, pero hindi pa pala natin tunay itong alam. Sa Pilipino, may karunungang sosyolohiya ang Pinoy sa pamamagitan nitong salawikain na ito. He who listens to hearsay has no mind of his own. Ang maniwala sa sabi-sabi, walang bait sa sarili. Napakahalaga nito na isang perspective, no? If you want to make a step towards bettering one's life, no? One should form opinions and conclusions on the basis of fact and reason. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit ang sarap mag-aral. Kasi yung mga hindi mo alam, nalalaman mo sa paaralan, no? Meron pala siyang fact at meron pala siyang dahilan. So to rely on rumor and unverified information is to really to show the lack of sound judgment. Kailangan powerful yung judgment mo, hindi judgmental. So sa Itbulaga, alam niyo naman yon, tuwing tanghali, they are reminding us na bawal maging judgmental because that show is really proving to us that there are so many of those stereotypes, of those prejudices that we thought we know, pinaniniwalaan natin, but it only leads us to off position. So ito yung wisdom ng perspective ng sociology na palaging suspend your judgment first before you move on. Bakit ko ina-explain ito? Ina-explain ko ito kasi ang unang tanong natin, no, sa gitna ng pandemya, bakit ka ba nadyan? Okay? Where are you? Nasaan yung kahulugan natin? No? Kahulugan, question the purpose of one's life. And I'm happy to share with you na may mga kwento yung ating buhay. Okay? May mga kwento yung ating buhay. Minsan akala natin na buhay lang natin ang mahalaga. Pero ang tunay na buhay, and forgive me because I'm a sociologist, is really all about your interaction with your loved one and with your community, with your family members, with your schoolmates, and everyone. Kaya hindi siya kwento ng aking buhay, kundi kwento ng ating buhay. Noong 2010, na-publish ko itong Batong Bahay, naratibo ng kahirapan at tagumpay ng isang karaniwang pamilyang Pilipino. Kung makikita nyo, yung bahay na yan, iyan yung kinalakhan na bahay ko dito mismo sa Binangonan, Rizal. And I've always been proud of it. Ang thesis na librong ito ay tungkol sa thesis ng kahirapan. Posible ba na pag mahirap ang isang kabataan ay magtagumpay, may matutunan sa kahirapan dahil naniniwala sa edukasyon? I really think that all of you listening now are in the midst of this dimension, no? Para saan ba itong pag-aaral natin, right? Para sa akin, yung intro nitong librong ito, yung siguro magpapakita sa atin ng istorya, ng kung paano tinitingnan ang buhay. Doon sa unang kabanata ng librong ito, Pundasyon ng Dapit Hapon, kwento ko yung nangyari noong March 7, 2000. Mula UP na nagma-masters ako, papuntang UST Hospital. Hayaan niyo akong basahin ko kahit kwentuhan ko kayo, no? Kung may isang bagay na nagbibigay sa akin na magkahalong takot at padadabik, ito ay ang pagsapit ng dapit hapon sa bawat araw. Ngayon, habang tinititigan ko ang kalawakan ng Quezon City papuntang Manila, mula sa Universidad ng Pilipinas, UP, patungong Universidad ng Santo Tomas, di ko maitago ang aking paghanga sa nasasaksihan kong pagsayaw ng mga kulay sa langit. Bughaw, kahel, pulat dilaw, na waring nakikipagtalastasan sa pumapanglaw na puting sikat ng araw. Ang dapit hapon, ang sandali na ang araw ay nagtatago upang magbigay daan sa konting ilaw na dala ng buwan. Liwanag na hindi naman pagmamay-ari ng buwan, kundi hinihiram din niya sa araw. Ngunit dahil dito, ang mundo ay pansamantalang dumidilim na para bang panandaliang nagpapaalam. Kakaiba ang dapit hapon sa araw na ito dahil dadalawin ko ang aking nanay biday sa USC Hospital. Lola ko talaga siya, pero lumaki akong nanay ang kinasanayang tawag ng lahat sa kanya. 2 buwan na rin ang nakalipas mula na makumpirmang meron siyang lung cancer. Mahalagang araw na ito sa akin dahil kagagaling ko lang sa UPU para sa launching ng aking unang librong talim. Dinuluhan ito ng mga guro, kaibigan, pamilya at syempre ng mga taga-isla ng talim. Meron pa rin natitirang lakas ang Nanay Biday nung nakaraang buwan kaya nasaksihan pa niya ang kauna-unahang paglulunsad ng aking libro sa UST. Ngunit ngayon, sa pagkakataong ito, di siya nakadalo. Dahil sa kanyang paghihina. Kaya naman, matapos ang ritual ng launching, mas pinili kong magbiyahe pabalik sa UST Hospital upang makapiling ang nanay. Lahat tayo narito, alam ko, may istorya at may kwento ng pagmamahal. Yung mga kwentong yon, yun yung pinakamahalagang aspekto, no? At alam niyo na siguro ang nangyari, no? After that day, ay binawian ng buhay ang aking Lola Biday. Kailangan ko siyang isulat, kailangan ko siyang alalahanin dahil mahalagang bahagi siya ng aking buhay. Yun yung unang perspektibo na kailangan natin. Malaman natin kung anong konteksto ng ating buhay. Malaman natin kung ano nangyayari sa buhay natin. Anong level ng kahirapan natin, anong level ng tagumpay na kaya nating galawin, no? I-achieve, no? Sa proseso. Kaya nga, may isang konsepto akong dais i-share sa inyo, no? Na pag tumitingin sa buhay, hindi lang yung aking buhay, kundi ating buhay sa konteksto ng tinatawag na life course. Okay? Life course. Ang life course ay isang theoretical na paradigm. No? It's a sophisticated paradigm para maintindihan kung ano ang ating buhay. Bahagi nito ay 4 na aspekto. Una, maintindihan mo ang historical context, ang kasaysayan. Ikalawa, maintindihan mo ang lohika ng choices at action mo. Ikatlo, relasyon, social relationship. At ika-4, yung mga pagbabagong inaasahan mo. Ano-ano yung mga tinatawag na life transition? Mula sa pag-aaral, papunta sa trabaho. Isang life transition yon. Mula sa bahay, papunta sa pag-aasawa. Isang life transition yon. Madalas nararamdaman nyo yung transition lalo na kayong nagka-college, sigurado ako mararamdaman nyo tong feel na to kung pagkatapos nyo, kailangan nyo nang mag-shift ng buhay, which is through employment, right? Lahat yan ay tinatawag namin mga transitional issues and concerns from the sociology of youth perspective. Mahalaga na pag tinitingnan natin yung buhay ay tahaking buhay. Na pag ikaw ay hahakbang sa buhay, hindi ka hahakbang para sa sarili mo lang kasi hindi totoo yon. Ang totoo nun, kahit sinasabi mong para sa akin to, ang totoo nun, maraming maapektuhan sa lahat ng mangyayari kasi hindi lang ikaw ang nabubuhay sa mundo. Merong kasaysayan, may mga structures na naghuhugis, shaping your life na hindi mo man naintindihan pero siya'y nagde-determine ng mga decision mo. At meron talagang mga iba't ibang mga relasyon na dumadaan sa buhay natin. Failed man siya or lasting man siya, kasama siya sa tahaking buhay. Lahat ng ito mahalaga para sa inyong mga life transitions. So, ang tanong is, how does historical time and places shape our lives? Paanong hinuhubog ng panahon at kapaligiran ang ating ginagalawang sa ating buhay? Well, tahaking buhay is a concept that means that, ahead of us is a challenging path. Okay? Kasi buhay tayo eh. Kahit naman yung makikita mong halaman, no? It goes through the process, no? Of being planted, of growing, blooming, may natuto yung mga dahon, may nawawala, meron na namang uusbong na dahon, right? So that's how the process would go. It's a continuous negotiation over and over again. So, ito ang ating context, no? Ngayon, ano ba yung mga pagbabago nangyayari sa buhay natin? Well, the pandemic is the number 1 shifter of our lives now, no? No one has ever imagined in this generation that we will experience it, but we have a shared experience now of what you call as the pandemic. So, the question is, what are some of these recent upcoming trends and development in the Philippines that it's affecting our behavior? Pandemic is the big one. And how are these factors affecting the Filipino psyche? So let me just offer you some of the insights, no? Kasi mahalaga na maintindihan natin yung konsepto ng social change, no? The pandemic situation has not only brought health shift change, no? Hindi lang siya life and death, but social change, which means a significant alternation of structures and cultural patterns through time. So over the number of months, when we thought na sandali lang to, no, this will have an impact all throughout our lives. No, we can be called a pandemic generation because we experience a shared historical moment together. So one of the things that one has to look at is this, that we have a growing population all over the world. By 2016, we are already 7.4 billion. And in the Philippines, in 2016, 102, but now 109 na tayo by 2020, right? And this is very interesting, no? Kasi yung population health environment data natin estimates all over the country is very, very interesting that maybe you have not fully understood it, pero may implication siya pag nire-relate sa ibang countries. Like for example, how many of us really understand the fact that males has a life expectancy of only 65 years old in the Philippines and females 72. So hindi tayo ang nasyon na tumatanda, no? We have a very limited life. That's why it's very interesting. Ang papapansin nyo, yung retirement ng mga magulang natin, mga kilala nyo, nakarating sa 60, 65 years old, you know na napupunta lang siya sa health issues. Okay? Nagagastos lahat ng mga retirement needs nila dahil nga overall, yung health situation ng bansa natin is in dire need of improvement, right? We have not really get to that point like Singapore na makikita nyo, 80 years old yung males, 85 ang females, no? So, in comparison to some countries, yes, no? Pero at this age, no? Ang mga kalalakihan sa atin is expected to die at 65 and ang babae is expected to die at 72. Isipin lang natin yon, maiiba na yung pagtingin mo kung paano mo aayusin yung mundo mo right? Parang, wow, itong mga parents ko, itong mga grandparents ko, no, napakasaya ko na nakasama ko sila. My lola died at the age of 68, right? If I'm not mistaken. And the expectation is 72, no? Kasi nga may kahirapan kasi nga may bisyo, kasi nga maraming dahilan, right? But the overall health structure in the country is really low, right? That when it comes to the demography, although we're going to say that we are relatively young, and that by 2030 the projection is that we will be relatively young, no? So ang projection natin is that there will be we will have a young nation, no? So we cannot afford to lose the strength to carry on kasi marami tayong mga batang pag-aaralin. Maraming mga bata na nangangailangan ng tulong, no? Kaya hindi pwedeng nagsasayang ng panahon sa pag-aaral kasi kailangan mag-aral kasi kailangan ka ng lipunan. Okay? So, another thing that's impacting us is this migration culture. Okay? Migration culture engaging with the world as immigrants and emigrants. Right? Sino sa atin ang walang kilala o kamag-anak na immigrant or emigrant? Right? So, in 2013, the estimated number of Filipino descent who lived and worked abroad is about 10.2 million of us. No, it's about 10 to 15% of the entire Philippines, no, ay nasa abroad, right? Overseas Filipino workers estimates in 2016 is 2.4 million, right? It's not a joke to be away from the country. I lived in North America for 8 years for my graduate studies, and I have intersected with so many nurses, caregivers, seafarers, doctors, engineers, and what have you, business persons. And I tell you, it's always an imagined Philippines when we're there, right? Oo, it's not easy working, but the opportunities for great employment is there. Opportunities for quality life I've experienced is there. And we have to work harder in the country to make the same claim sana na it's beautiful to live here because the structures, the government, the social services is beautifully engaged here. It will be beautiful. So what I'm trying to argue is that we have a nation to problematize, and you are needed to make sure that this project of a nation, itong bansa natin ay matulungan natin sa proseso para we keep it together, right? Hindi pwedeng isang hakbang lang sa sarili, kundi hakbang sana ng buong komunidad at pamayanan. This is something that I have to show you, which is a proof of one of the arguments that we are always behind, especially in education. And this is the Philippine Education for All Review Report in 2015. Quality is relatively low when it comes to education, and this is not a joke. And we thought that this virtual thing na okay, pwede na ako hindi pumasok, pwede na ako hindi mag-aral ng mabuti. Naku, sasabihin ko sa inyo, kailangan nating mas mag-aral ng mabuti dahil hindi maganda ang output ng ating achievement test over the number of years. And this was taken from 2005 to 2013, right? I would love to have another set of report to show you. Pero ito yung latest na nakita ko, right? Meaning, come on, 75 ang passing, no? Pero we were below the 75 passing mark. And as you could see, malinaw na bumababa yung grade 6 mas okay kesa dun sa 4th year, no? Second, this is pre K to 12, no? So ang hope ko is that K to 12 brings a shift in the quality of education in the country. When it comes to different subjects, as you could see, no? Critical thinking, tingnan mo, kitang-kita mo, 39.12%. Overall, makikita mo na yung grade 6 merong overall test mean percentage score of 68.88. At pagdating sa 4th year, 51.41. It's really sad. It's really sad. No, this is not a joke. This is something that we have to arrest. And sad kasi nagka-pandemic, the more that we expect that sumasadsad yung quality ng education natin. I'm always a believer that education is key to really making sure that we will have a better life. Kasi pag mababa yung quality ng education system natin, talaga nakakalungkot. And here, historically, I have to tell you that it's not always like this. There was a time that Philippines is the center of quality education. Dito pumupunta ang mga taga Southeast Asia para mag-aral. And now, ganun ba yung nangyayari? Marami pa bang pumupunta sa atin para mag-aral dito sa ating bansa? We have to imagine a world, imagine a time na talagang tataas ang kalidad ng edukasyon natin, na pag pumunta na tayo sa ibang bansa, we will not be relegated, we will not be discounted, we will be respected as we are because the quality of education is high. That's the logic of K to 12, and I do not know if we are on the right path, no? Nagkaroon ng pandemya, so medyo lalo pa tayong china-challenge ng pagkakataong ito. So, this is another realm na kailangan natin tingnan. No? Unemployment is relatively low compared to other countries who are unemployed. Sad thing is, ang mga unemployed dito sa bansang ito ay mga bata. Okay? So, lalo na sa pandemya, mas mataas pa dito. But what I'm reporting here is that it is gendered. It's mostly male who are unemployed, and that the total unemployed age 15 to 24, 50% are comprises of those unemployed, and the next would be 25 to 34 years old. So virtually more than 2/3 of the unemployed are actually young people from 15 to 30 years old, which is sad, no? Yan yung makikita natin. Yan yung dahilan kung bakit nag-aral ako ng standby phenomenon sa Pilipinas. And that is another story that I can share with you. Pero gusto kong sabihin sa inyo na dito sa 2016 report, na by educational attainment, 23.1% of the unemployed were college graduates. And so that posed a lot of challenge to us na nasa university. Meron ba kaming plano para sa employment nyo? Kasi kung wala, malaking problema, right? Ibig sabihin, kami lang ang kumita na nasa university. Paano naman yung inyong employment, right? Kasi nga, about 1/5 ng mga nakagraduate ay hindi nakapagtrabaho. So, and this is another realm, yung state of information and communication technologies natin. Ngayon, ito, malinaw na nung 2016 pa lang sinasabi na at dito sa report ng PIDS, na malaking problema yung information and communication technologies natin sa Pilipinas. Dahil nun pa lang clear na sa internet at sa household na may computer, mababa tayo compared to other countries. Lalo na dito sa Global Information Technology Report ng World Economic Forum na sinasabi na dito sa Pilipinas, tayo ay may napakabagal na internet connection. So kung hindi man ako naglalag, yun ay dahil sa nagbayad ako ng mas mataas na internet speed. Pero dun sa Maynila, 10 to 15 lang yung Mbps ko. Pero on the average in the Philippines is 3.5. It's not nice. It's not, meaning how can you have a beautiful conversation online if this is the case? Compared to 16.5 ng Singapore, right? Compared to 14.8 ng Taiwan. Kaya nga ang sarap pagka magbibiyahe ka abroad, makikita mo yung difference eh. If internet infrastructure is the basis for quality life, then, sad to say, Philippines failed in that respect. So, the change. So, what is happening with our social world? Well, clearly, malinaw na as you think of your life course, ang nangyayari sa mundo natin ay na-identify na yung issues and concern ng Sustainable Development Goals ng 2030. Ang mundo natin ay may overload ng demand ng ICT and information. Although there has been internationalization and standardization in the fields of education and employment, nagkaroon rin tayo ng shifts ng educational policy impacting our social and employment structures. Ito yung kahalagahan ng K-12, no, na ini-implement ngayon. Pero sa gitna ng lahat ng ito, nananatili ang napakaraming issue na kailangan harapin ng mundo. At ang tatlong pinakamahalaga dyan, no poverty, zero hunger, good wealth, and well-being. So ang tanong sa ating lahat is that, naintindihan mo ba na sa gitna ng may kinakain tayo, maraming mahihirap, maraming nagugutom, at maraming may sakit. Often these are things that we do not see because things are not what they seem. Marami tayong mga kababayan na mahirap pa rin. Marami tayo, lalo na dahil sa pandemya, na nagugutom. At marami tayo na nagkakasakit, hindi lang ng COVID, kundi iba't iba pang sakit. Pero how are we coping up? Sa tatlong issues na ito, tatlong dahilan na ito, upang pagbutihin natin ang ating buhay. Na sa bawat pagkain na kinakain natin, nourishment yon, okay? Sa bawat extra na nakikita natin sa buhay natin, swerte na yon, no? At pag ikaw ay wala pa ring sakit, napakalaking kayamanan na yan na dapat pahalagahan. So what I'm arguing is that if you're going to look at your life course and you think and you are convinced that you are privileged, then there is much responsibility for us to to make this world a better place. Why? Because we have to make sure that the future generation is secured and that the resources that we have is sustainable. We cannot afford to use so much that the next generation will not have anything left. Right? So parang, siguro sinasabi nyo, ay, kala ko ba simpleng life course lang ito? Hindi. Life course ito na in-explain ko sa inyo yung negotiation nyo with the world. Ito ang haharapin natin kahit anong profession mo. No? Everybody will be looking into issues kung paano mo masesecure ang livelihood mo, kung paano mo masesecure ang iyong buhay, right? And it cannot be secured if you do not have the concept of sustainability na kailangan sustainable yung notion. Ibig sabihin, alam mo na hindi ka sobra, tama lang, balanse lang. Hindi pwedeng maximization, kundi talagang balanse lang. Kasi in any respect, you know na may mawawalan sa proseso. So, I think nakakadalawa na tayo. So, pangatlo is competence, right? So, how do we understand the social world? Well, I would like to make an argument about hanap buhay, no? So, ang mahalaga yung konsepto ng hanap buhay sa bawat isa sa atin. At the end, sasabihin ko sa inyo, dito sa Pilipinas, sa mga kabataan lalo na, when you ask the youth, no? Dalawa lang palaging concern, education and livelihood. Hanap buhay sa atin ito. So, I'm going to share with you na may three perspective on understanding hanap buhay. Pwede nating tingnan siya from the institutional perspective, which means na alam mo naman yung hanap buhay means that you are going to negotiate, the knowledge that you have for the benefit of your family. But it really is dependent on the extent to which you are educated, right? You have the skills, no? Even religion can be a factor in making choices about your livelihood. Government and social movements are big things. Kasi sila na yung nag-structure nung buhay natin. Meron ba tayong trabaho? Wala ba tayong trabaho? I tell you, if there will be less corruption in this Philippines, we could have generated a lot of jobs. But that's not the case, no? Our politics remain to be democratic yet undemocratic in a way because of the patronage that we have. Alam niyo naman na marami sa atin na wala sa politika, pero mga nasa politika ay isang corporation ng magkakapamilya. So those are issues that we have to look into on how you could actually navigate this world in order for you to have livelihood. Another one is cultural. Ito naman, tinitingnan naman natin yung notion ng culture as an iceberg. We thought that culture is only about food, flags, festival, fashion, holidays, music, etc. We call that surface culture. I am more interested at understanding deep culture. Kasi when you start to work, maghahanap ka ng buhay mo. I tell you, deep culture matters. And deep culture means that this is where your attitudes fall into place. This is where your dispositions become very, very important. Yung notions ng courtesy, leadership, friendship, cleanliness, modesty, beauty, yung concept mo ng time, yung fairness, justice, yung attitude mo towards world, elders, adolescent, ito ang mahalagang mga aspect na naiintindihan ng lahat na mahalaga pag nagtatrabaho. Another is the concept of generation. So isa tayong henerasyon if you experience a noteworthy historical event katulad ng pandemya. Okay? So here I want to just mention na alam nyo, ang totoo nito, pag tinitingnan mo yung tahaking buhay, dapat meron kang perspective na may kasaysayan at meron kang individual na buhay, individual biographies. At yung intersection na yon, ikaw. Hindi ikaw lang, kundi intersection to sa kasaysayan. This is what you call a sociological imagination by C. Wright Mills. So, in the context of intergenerational relations at work, may tatlong nabibigay ito. Bonding, bridging, and building. No? Konsepto to ng social capital, pero nakikita ko talaga napakahalaga, no? Na pag iniisip mo yung hanap buhay, meron tong kapangyarihan para mag-bond, mag-bridge, at mag-build. Okay? So, kailangan magsumikap para mas maganda at maayos yung hanap buhay. Kasi you cannot just bond, you cannot just build, you cannot just bridge, no? If you do not have the skills necessary for work. And so, what is the challenge, no? Challenge. So what do we do now with our social world? Well, you have to understand life transitions. You have to understand and maybe accept change, pagbabago. That it is necessary that you will be transitioning from one phase to another. And so let me end by sharing with you gifts that I shared with Jollibee Corporation when I was given the chance to talk to them. Sabi ko, you know what? I think the 5 local concepts could really help you understand the gift of life transition. Gana, regalo, espesyal, ambag, sa katahanan. So, culled from UP Dictionary Filipino, let me share with you the 5 concepts. Gana. So ito yung pagkakagusto sa kinakain, pagnanais kumain ng marami. Dito sa COVID times natin, alam mo na pag nawalan ka ng panlasa, may problema ka na. Right? Oo. Pero the cruise of the matter is, sa buhay, pag nawalan ka na ng gana, yan na ang problema natin. Diba? Ayaw ko nang mabuhay, ayaw ko nang kumilos, ayaw ko nang bumangon. Sometimes it's just fascinating, no? Kung sino yung makikita mong tao na sa gitna ng lahat na nangyayari sa atin ngayon, meron pa rin siyang gana sa buhay. And one of the indicators that I always have with most of those that I intersect with is to ask, kailan ka ba, anong oras ka ba gumigising, no? Kasi ako gumigising ako ng 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It's my indicator na gusto ko talagang mabuhay pa, gusto ko pang gumawa, no? Hindi nawawala yung gana sa buhay natin. I really hope that you find ways na alam mo kung saan ka mag-engage kasi ginaganahan ka, right? Oo. I love that local concept, no? Kasi makita mo yung kakainin mo, alam mo kung gaganahan ka o hindi, right? Oo. Mahalaga yung konsepto ng gana, right? Oo. Dapat may gana ka para sa iyong gustong gawin sa buhay. And I really hope na, yep, it may be that you do not like the course that you're taking, but I hope that you're going to start to love it. Or if you love the course that you're taking, I really hope that you maintain the gana, okay? The interest, no? To finish the game, the race, no? Mahalaga siya. Dapat you have to check out yourself. Ano yung nagpawalang gana sa'yo sa isang bagay, right? Kahit naman sa pag-ibig, di ba? Ganun din. Pag nawalan ka na ng gana dun sa karelasyon mo, boyfriend or girlfriend, alam mo na may problema. Kaya pinakamahalaga na you guard yourself from those factors that will lessen your gana, no? Parang virus, no? It could just eat you up. Pag nawalan ka na ng gana, alam mo, may sakit ka. The second one is a concept which is of great symbolic importance, no? Regalo. So, anumang inihahandog. So, sa buhay, para sa akin, alam mo naman, pag Christmas, pag birthday, may konsepto tayo ng regalo. Pero sa akin, symbolically, mahalaga yon kapag ka nakakapagbigay ako. Right? Alam mo yun? Yung may konsepto ka na gusto mo magregalo. Kasi hindi mo lang iniisip yung sarili mo. Parang iniisip mo na mapasaya mo yung iba. Kaya may problema ako sa mga taong una, humihingi ng regalo. Ikalawa, naghihintay ng regalo. At ikatlo, hindi nagreregalo, right? Kasi sinasabi ko sa inyo, talagang napakahalaga na meron kang sense na may ihahanda ka, right? Para sa isang tao, para ihandog o sa Panginoon, no? Na yung buhay mo regalo para sa Panginoon, na sa mga okasyon, alam mo na, wow, meron kang effort, no? Para mapakita mo yung halaga ng hindi mo sarili, kundi halaga ng ibang tao para sa'yo. Okay? So that's the beauty of regalo para sa akin. Pero, alam naman natin na pwede kang magregalo pero hindi espesyal, right? Pwede kang magregalo pero hindi siya yung pinakamaganda. Kasi pilit lang, right? O kasi napilitan ka lang or obligasyon lang or gusto mo lang basta ano lang, matapos lang, right? O hindi ka lang mapahiya. So, hindi yun ang konsepto, no? Ang konsepto ng espesyal, especially on the things that you do, hindi ito pangkaraniwan. I really think there is always that disposition in every one of us that you know kung sino yung espesyal o hindi. Right? And ako, i-argue ko sa inyo na kung sakaling magre-regalo ka, give the most special one. Right? Kung sakaling mag-share ka, give the most special one. Right? Kasi that's where you reflect the character of your value system, right? So when one talks about life course, dito natin makikita yung mga decisions na ginagawa mo. Nasaan yung valuation? Nasaan si, human A, human B, human C sa buhay mo, right? And you know kung sino special, no? So you have to have gana in trying to share yourself in the most special way. Which brings me to my related concept na ambag. Okay? Ito naman yung tunay na pagbibigay na ng oras, salapi, kaalaman, tulong kasama ng ibang tao para sa kawang gawa. Tatapatin ko kayo, sa rami ng ginagawa ko, hindi ko alam kung tatanggapin ko tong imbitasyon na to o hindi. Pero, sabi ko nga, kahit sa 100 na mga taga-CEU na nakikinig at mga magulang at kung sino mang faculty, siguro kahit konting ambag, makapagbigay ako ng oras, ng kaalaman, para siguro matuto, magkaroon ng konting kaalaman sa isang bagay na maaaring hindi natin binibigyan na ng pansin. Ambag ay napakahalaga, no? Kasi itong ambag, ito yung yung regalo kasi parang pagbibigay mo yun dun sa ano mo talaga, yung alam mo, na gusto mong bigyan. Pero pag mag-aambag ka na hindi mo alam kung kanino pupunta. So this is really the notion of community, the notion of sharing, the notion of engagement in the community. I happen to be the one who developed the curriculum, one of those who developed curriculum for K-12 ng Humanities and Social Sciences. And the one thing that I wrote as curriculum guide is community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship. And maybe some of you who took UMS, nakuha yun, no? na course, no? And it was really exciting for us and for me in particular to write that curriculum guide because I know it's all about being part and parcel of a community. No? Yung notion na mabubuhay ka na hindi lamang para sa sarili mo dahil meron kang komunidad at pag-engage ka dito at malalaman mo, magiging bahagi ka nito, which is the notion of solidarity. And of course, pagkamamamayan dahil ikaw ay citizen ng lipunan. The last one is the notion hindi ng bahay, kundi tahanan. Ito yung pook na sinilangan natin. Pero at the end of the day, for me, sa lahat ng pag-aaral ko, meron tayong familial dynamic sa Pilipinas. Medyo napakalakas nito. Pwede mo itong tingnan in a very different way. And it's something that is the source of our happiness, the source of our energy. And it remains to be a notion na itong tahanan mas ano sa akin kasi ang tawag mo dito, mas impactful kasi ang root word nito is tahan. Yung bang may bata na umiiyak na pinapatahan mo. Sabi ko, napakaganda ng wikang Filipino natin, no? Na sana sa pagtahak natin sa buhay natin, no? Sa paghakbang mo para mas maintindihan kung ano nangyayari sa buhay natin, hindi mo makakalimutan yung tahanan. And it does not mean traditional family. It really means some kind of a community that we build, that we become an active, engaged person building homes, building tahanan in the process. So, sabi ko nga, choose to be great. Right? Oo, choose to be great. Yan yung theme dun sa Jollibee. So sabi ko, you know what? We have to embrace life transition, yung mga pagbabago na nangyayari sa atin. And dapat ready tayo dyan. At ang tahaking buhay ay tungo sa great. Ito ay ganang regalong espesyal ambag sa tahanan. So ganang regalong espesyal na ambag sa tahanan. So, bilang pagtatapos, alam ko may konsepto kayo ng desiderata. Ito ay something that is needed and wanted. Ito ay may Tagalog na desiderata, no? Hindi ko ito babasahin sa inyong lahat kasi medyo mahaba ito. Pero bilang pagtatapos, ang babasahin ko ay yung aking desiderata. Okay? Na sana makita nyo kung paano over the number of years nagkaroon ng shift ng disposisyon ang aking buhay. Sinulat ko ito noong September 2, 1999, 4:30 ng hapon sa Ibalong Centrum, Legazpi City, Philippines, that when I was asked to speak before about 8,000 Aquinas, dati Aquinas, yung UST Legazpi na ngayon, right? Let me end with this, which I think will summarize the totality of my message this afternoon. Ang aking kredo sa buhay. Mananatili akong simple sa lahat ng aking balakin. Pagsasaya ko ang bawat umuusbong na ideya mula sa obserbasyon at karanasan. Matapat kong susuriin ang kalidad ng aking pakikitungo sa kapwa. Titingnan ko silang kabahagi ng mundo, kasamang anak ng may kapal na di inuuri sa wika, kulay, anyo, yaman, natapos na formal na edukasyon, kasarian, o anumang pinanggahawakang paniniwala. Lilingon ako ng may pagkilala at pasasalamat sa aking pinagmulan. Mga magulang, kamag-anak, guro sa paaralan, at sa malawak na pamantasan ng pakikipagkapwa. Maluwag kong isusuko ang silakbo ng damdamin, ilalaan ko ang aking enerhiya sa lubos ng pagkilala sa sarili, tutuklasin ko ang karunungan sa likod ng problema, hamon, tukso, at mga panlilinlang. Nasa crucial na panahon ng pagdedesisyon, ang piliin ko ay ang tamang hindi nililipasan ng panahon sapagkat sumusunod sa prinsipyo ng natural na pagdaloy ng buhay. Di ako mapapagod na hanapin ang kahulugan ng bawat sitwasyon. Samantalang aktibo akong gumagawa ng paraan upang bigyang kahulugan ang buhay ng mga taong nakakasalamuha ko, wala akong karapatang magpasama ng loob ng sinumang tao. Instrumento ako ng respeto at tagapagtanggol ng dignidad ng tao. Nakaukit sa aking puso ang matimyas na adhikaing maging bahagi ng pagpapataas ng kalidad ng buhay ng pamayanang aking kinabibilangan. Hindi ako magbabalat kayo sa pag-ibig. Malinaw kong ihahayag ang aking intensyon. Susuriin ko ang aking interes. Titiyakin kong handa ako sa kinakailangang pagbabago. Dala na magkasalong buhay. Mananatili akong tapat sa lahat ng pangako. Hindi ko pababayaang manaigang emosyon. Titimplahin kong may lambing ang bawat sandali. Hindi ako maglalaro. Ituturing kong mahalaga ang bawat sandali at gawain. Gaano man ito kaliit, Pahalagahan ko ito tulad ng bagong silang na sanggol. Hindi ako tatahimik hanggat may magandang bagay na nagaganap sa mundo. Walang makakapigil sa aking isang bulat ang istorya ng kabayanihan at mga taong banal ang mithiin. Gagamitin ko ang aking oras na walang tatapon, pagaganahin ko ang lahat ng aking talento upang pagandahin ang mundo. Di ko pababayaang maging sagabal ang limitasyon, kahinaan, kakulangan sa pagtupad ng aking misyong isang inspirasyon. Mapagkumbaba kong tatanggapin ang lahat ng kritisismo. Hindi ko husgahan ng mga taong lumalait sa akin. Sila rin ay mga taong biktima ng sitwasyon. Pipilitin kong maintindihan ang kahulugan ng pangyayari na hindi mababawasan ng respeto ko sa kanila. Ang mga tumutuligsa ay mga tao rin, higit na nangangailangan ng atensyon at pagmamahal. Sa pagpanday ng aking sarili, gagawin kong daan ang pagmamahal sa aking kawing-kawing na pamilya, mula sa aking tahanan, trabaho, pamayanan, hanggang sa lipunan. Sa ganito, matitiyak kong sa anumang lugar na aking pupuntahan, matitiyak ang pundasyon ng mga prinsipyong aking natutunan. Kaya't magsisilbing kalasag ang mga pagpapahalagang ito upang mag-iwan ng bakas. Kung anumang bakas ay hindi ko na masasaksihan. Hindi ko kontrolado ang timbangan ng buhay. Ako ay anak ng puong may kapal. Sa bawat araw, mabubuhay akong nananabik sa oras ng kamatayan. Ang sandaling ang kredong ito ay hahanap ng kahulugan, magpapasaling-saling hanggang maging immortal. Padayon, move forward, kalinaw, peace, kapayapaan sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po at salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Batan, for a very fruitful, interesting talk and for enlightening us about life course, livelihood, and transition na I know very well na natuto ang ating mga viewers. Kaya naman, as Escolarians, you know the drill. Later, we will be having our open forum with Dr. Batan. So for now, ayan, we would like to encourage you all to ask questions regarding our topic and comment it down on our comment box so that Dr. Batan could answer and discuss with us your questions ayan later. So ayan,
Yes.
mag-ask na kayo sa ating comment box. Ayan.
Yes, and while we are waiting for your questions, everyone, I think it is the best time to hear some beats first and be serenaded by the one and only Mr. Kim Korea. Let us watch this.
Ayan, ako naman talaga. Napakagaling. Alam nyo, I cannot emphasize more on how very talented our Escalarian students are, and you never fail to make our hearts jump sa sobrang kahusayan. Kaya once again, thank you very much, Mr. Kim Correa, for passionately serenading us with your saxophone. Ayan.
Grabe, iba talaga ang mga musikero, and I'm 100% sure na napakarami pa nating Escolarians na mga musikero rin, mga awit, mananayaw at mga makata. Tayo pa ba, punong-puno tayo ng talento na hinihintay makita ng mundo.
Tama ka dyan, Pami. Kaya naman, kukunin namin ang pagkakataon na to para anyayahan kayong lahat na nanonood at pati na rin lahat ng Escolarians sa bawat sulok ng Pilipinas for the last week of our USC Weekends 2021. Bakit ano nga bang meron? Well, it is in my utmost gratitude to tell you that the University Student Council Manila will have a talent showcase on March 27, 2021. Ayan, which is a Saturday. Yan, nakikita nyo naman sa ating screen. So I hope you all remember our Ingenium season every USC week. And syempre, hindi natin yan palalampasin kahit na nasa digital platforms tayo.
Yes, and even though we constantly miss seeing our fellow Escolarians' talent face-to-face, we will still provide an avenue for students to showcase their talents, this time through our online platforms. That is why me and Ate Mikay are encouraging all the Escolarian singers, dancers, and poets out there to register now for our upcoming Entabladong Escolarian, a talent showcase on the last Saturday of the USC Weekends celebration. There you have it, the ticket.
Nakikita nyo na, kaya mag-register na kayo guys at abangan nyo pa ang aming mga announcement further habang undergoing tayo ng ating USC Weekends program at mag-ready na din kayo ng mga talents ninyo. Also, during the talent showcase, we will have very special guests that everyone must anticipate. And I bet you all remember yung mga invited guests natin na kinumpleto ang ating mga gabi ng mga previous USC Week Ingeniums. Kaya online man, di namin kayo bibiguin dyan. So, to know more about this contest and to be updated, please visit our official Facebook page, CEU Manila University Student Council, for the announcements regarding this year's talent showcase and also to be informed of the registration process and the guidelines for the competitions. And I hope you are all excited as much as we are. Kaya naman, i-mark nyo na yan mga viewers natin today. I-mark nyo na yan at mag-ready na kayo for our talent showcase.
Yes, I hope you're all ready because going back to our program, now is the time for our open forum. Finally, ito rin talaga ang hinihintay ko dahil napakasaya makita ang willingness ng bawat estudyante matuto mula sa ating speaker. So I hope your questions are all ready now, Escolarians.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Pami. And again, kindly comment down your questions in our comment section below. Me and Pami will be reading your questions for Dr. Batan to answer. Actually, yung iba nag-PM sa atin, di ba, Pami? Kaya babasahin din namin yun later. Ayan, so, kaya huwag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa and let us all welcome back on stage Dr. Clarence M. Batan.
Hi po, Doc.
Magandang
Good afternoon po.
hapon sa inyong lahat. Opo. Sana hindi ko nasayang yung afternoon nyo.
Ay, naku, hindi po. Sobrang fruitful at napaka-meaningful ng afternoon na to dahil po sa shinare nyo po sa amin. Maraming salamat po, Doc.
Totoo po yan. At sobrang excited po kami ni Ate Mikay magtanong ng aming mga questions. And since we are still waiting for some questions, let us first start the ball rolling by asking this, Doc. So, I will first ask my question po, no? So we can start our conversation. So, basing this in our topic, gusto lang po namin malaman, you know, a lot of people are still confused or lost right now because of the changes that we experience. And kahit inevitable po na mahirapan tayo sa ating
buhay, sa ating everyday lives, what would you advise to us para we can go back on track or we can help ourselves pave our own ways or our better future despite the circumstances?
Well, it's a beautiful question. Thank you, Pam. Ang problema is komplikado yung sagot, right?
Yes, totoo.
So, firstly is that you have to understand na may iba't iba tayong konteksto at sitwasyon. I know na hindi ko ma-generalize na, for example, I wanted to have a Zoom, or kaya Gmeet, or kaya spreading StreamYard, no, na klase sa mga estudyante ko. I tell you, hindi ko talaga magawa kasi naka-data lang yung iba. Yung iba merong 10 Mbps, yung iba may 50. Pero dun sa klase ko lang, kitang-kita ko yung inequality sa buhay, right? So yung understanding mo lang na hindi tayo pare-pareho, na may iba-iba tayong circumstances, mahalaga yon para sa akin. Oo. Kasi kahit dun sa mga kamag-anakan natin, 'di ba? Hindi naman tayo pare-pareho ng sitwasyon sa buhay. Kaya minsan hindi mo napapansin yung pagsasalita mo pala na nararamdaman nila na diyan ka lang, right? Oo. If there's one concept that I just shared is it's sociological imagination, no?
Yes.
Yung notion that it's an ability, and this is from C. Wright Mills, no, an American sociologist. It's an ability to see your personal biography in relation to history. So, ibig sabihin, bawat isa sa atin may kasaysayan, bawat isang pamilya may iba't ibang konteksto yan. Tas ikaw na gumagalaw bilang agent, no? Sa gitna ng pandemya, kailangan mo ng sociological imagination. In fact, I would argue na kung may sociological imagination ang ibang mga nasa gobyerno natin o nasa school natin, sigurado ako hindi gagawin yung mga bagay-bagay na nagpapahirap. Kasi nga, dapat mo intindihin na hindi ka pwede magkaroon ng isang memo na akala mo lahat pare-pareho. Diba? Hindi pwedeng ganon sa panahon ngayon. Hindi ka rin pwedeng biglang magkaroon ng isang proyekto na, ito nakakatawa to, no? Dahil wala tayong datos sa mga barangay natin, lahat bibigyan mo ng ayuda. So, malaking problema sa akin yun bilang researcher. Kasi, once na binigyan mo ng ayuda, yung hindi naman dapat ayudahan, may problema ka na doon.
Yes.
Di ba? At once na bigyan mo ng pare-pareho, yung isang barangay, alam mo may problema ka na doon. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo ginagamit yung simpleng common sense na magkakaiba tayo dito sa barangay na to, right? Dapat sa una pa lang, kilala mo na kung sino yung aayudahan ng mas matagal kaysa yung hindi, right? So you imagine yung ayudang binibigay sa isang subdivision. Parang wow, I am fascinated with that. Versus sa ayudang binibigay mo doon sa isang nasa squatters area, quote-unquote, right? Also, informal settlers. So, medyo komplikado yung sagot ko, pero ang sinasabi ko lang is that we have to have some kind of a sociological imagination to see the needs of our family, to see the needs of those who are near us. Hindi lang yung need mo. Kasi yung need mo is intersecting with other needs, right? So if you will have that, then you will not be anxious too much. Kasi alam mo, naintindihan mo, di ba? Na, ay, okay, kaya ganun yung sitwasyon nila kasi ganito, right? At ganito ko siya matutulungan. Parang ganun.
Exactly, sir. Thank you very much for that answer, Doc. Kasi, honestly, just like what you've said in your discussion, it is not just us. Kailangan tinitignan natin yung perspektibo natin on a wider perspective, on a sociological instance nga. Kasi us as human beings, we are connected sa ating social realms. Kung ano yung nangyayari sa ating sosyedad. Kaya how we act will eventually affect us in whole.
Yes. So actually, nasagot na nga po yung isa kong tanong kasi may tanong po ako kasi relating it kasi syempre online po tayo ngayon. Marami po talaga din na, kagaya namin, hindi po naman kagaya ng lahat ng kabataan ngayon, kagaya na natin na privileged o na nakakapag-aral, nakakapag-online. Talaga pong magkakaiba kasi talaga tayo. Kaya tama lang po na merong sociological imagination ba? Tama po ba?
Yes.
Na,
Yeah.
ma-anticipate ma-anticipate ng mga tao na meron talagang differences ang bawat isa. Differences sa pagkatao, sa environment, sa attitude, at sa situation. Tama po. And we have here another question po, Doc, na kasi we talked about the purpose of life. Sabi po dito, paano po ba natin masasabi na, ay, ito na ang purpose ko sa buhay? Ayan po.
Wow, that's a very philosophical question.
Yes.
Pero sasagutin ko siya ng sociological. The one to determine will not be only you. Right? Kasi parang what is so interesting about sociological perspective is that it's not telling you that it's all about you. Right? Yung kumbaga, yung tipo ng pagka may problema yung isang bata sa school, blame talaga agad. Alam mo yon, ikaw kasi. The sociologist will not do and dare do that.
Yes.
It's always looking at kung ikaw nagkaganyan, ang tanong, bakit ka nagkaganyan in relation to what? Right? Oo. So, kumbaga, yung purpose ko sa buhay actually should be understood from the context of who will give meaning to that. Is it just you or your intersection with your family or your intersection with your community? So kumbaga, no one would know that not until you find meaning in what you're doing. At yun yung something very fascinating about life, no? When I discovered that I want to be a sociologist, the world was against me. Why? Kasi wala naman nakakaalam kung ano yung sociology, right? Oo. Kahit may honor kang graduate, they look at sociology and being a sociologist very low. In fact, kahit sa university, may nag-iisip na ang sociologist ay hindi isang profession. Okay? Hindi kami mga professional, no? That's sad, right?
Yes.
Because you are against the world, right? Parang you make decisions sometimes na hindi kasi siya popular. So, yun yung nakita ko, no? When you're looking at your purpose in life, hindi siya issue ng kung magiging sikat ka doon, kung yayaman ka doon, kung ang indicators kasi ng success is relative, no? Wala magsasabi na successful ka. Siguro, yung magiging successful ka kasi mga alumni na kinikilala lang yung yumaman, kinikilalang mga alumni yung may mga na-achieve, no? But ang question doon palagi is, ano yung achieve, right? Sino nagsabi na achiever ka, right? So you have to always negotiate that notion na, you know what? It will be you and the things that you intersect with that will make it happen. Like sa isang guidance counseling situation, malinaw na palagi mo madidiscover, hindi lang iyan tungkol doon sa bata, kundi may nangyari kung ba't nangyari yan. So, para siya yung standby na dissertation ko.
Yes.
Pag sinabi mo standby, kahit hanggang ngayon, negative. Right? O, kahit si President criminalize yung mga standby, which is really sad. No? But my research directs attention to the fact that standby phenomenon is both personal and social. It's not just that they do not like to work. It's all because there is simply no work available. So you cannot just blame the individual.
Yes.
So similar with understanding the purpose in life. You know that what will give meaning to that will be those people you intersect with, no? Kumbaga, iba yung nag-aral sa may pinag-aralan. Kumbaga, ibig sabihin, pwede kang magna cum laude, summa cum laude, napakagaling mo sa school, pero wala kang pinag-aralan. Ibig sabihin, corrupt ka naman, hindi mo naman so
hindi makatao.
Hindi ka naman makatao. So ang ibig ko sabihin is that the purpose in life is a project. right? Project siya, proyekto siya na kailangan inaalagaan. Hanggang ngayon, may proyekto pa rin ako. Hindi pa rin perfect yung buhay ko, right? It will never be perfect maybe. But ang point is that every day ay may gana ako na harapin ang buhay dahil alam ko na napapasaya ko ang mga magulang ko. Na alam ko hindi ako pabigat sa bahay ko. Na alam ko marami akong mga ginagawa para mas maging maganda ang mundong ito, right? Not just for myself but also for the community that I belong to. It's a sociological perspective.
Yes.
Thank you po. Talaga, kasi we have to touch other people's lives din kasi talaga. Parang, kumbaga, parang yung purpose ng sa buhay is to be selfless. Pag magiging genuinely happy ka, mararamdaman mo talaga na ang success naman talaga natin, hindi na madedefine as it is na parang sa dictionary, ayan na siya.
Totoo.
Talagang mas malalim ang meaning ng success or purpose sa buhay. Talagang maraming tao tayong kailangan na matouch or kumbaga parang sanga-sanga po talaga siya.
Yep. Kawing-kawing. Talagang if you're going to look at your lives, you thought that it's just you and your family. No, when you start to get out and be employed, and many times you get employed, you will see that it will just be connected and interwoven in a way that you wanted it. Of course, may mga tao na pag nagbibwisit, edi you cut off the relationship. Pero kapag alam mo naman, I usually am happy with intersecting with people na nagpaparamdam na tao ako. Yung making me feel that I have a sense in life as a human being. So whenever I am engaging with people na medyo hindi lang nega, kundi talagang mapanlait,
toxic,
judgmental, lumalayo talaga ako eh. Kasi alam ko na hindi siya nagpapakatao sa akin. So all my engagement, I tell you, in the last few years of my life has been very clear na once na ikaw ay hindi nagbibigay sa akin ng kapangyarihan upang maging tao ako, maging mas maayos akong tao, lalayo ako sa'yo. Right? Oo. So I always am happy with performances of students sa akin, right? Kasi you perform sa mga teacher, no? So you perform that you're good, you perform. But you know what? Hindi mo maitatago. Kapag ka talaga hindi ka maayos na tao. Alam mo yun? So it is your training, your skill to make sure that you protect yourself, okay? But also to know when to engage and when to stop the engagement. So ang sinasabi ko, balance lang. Hindi ko sinasabi na all good, all hindi kasi ang resources natin limited lang. So kailangan secured and sustainable. Right? Secured and sustainable. Lahat ng decisions na ginagalawan natin para yung paghakbang mo dun sa buhay, talagang akmang-akma na mag-iiwan ka ng bakas, no? Ng some kind of a legacy in the process.
So magandang advice din po yun, no? Maraming salamat.
Maraming talaga, sir. This is a push talaga to challenge yourselves, not just to look at our own perspective. But sir, we received one question here po from Mr. PJ Sheed. He asked, what if we already lost po our gana on several aspects because of things that are beyond our control? How can we... Wait. Ayan, medyo na-disconnect lang po tayo. Maya-maya po babalik din si Dr. Clarence.
Ulitin ko lang, no? Actually, isang magandang advice yung sinabi ni Doc Clarence, no, na totoo, sa buhay natin, marami tayong makikilala, marami tayong na-encounter dahil sanga-sanga ang mga taong at experiences na
sorry.
Ayan.
sorry.
Ayan, hindi
wala
ako. Hello, Dr.
Wala ako.
Yeah. No worries.
Anong gagawin pag nawala na ng gana? Sorry. I really am sorry for that.
No worries po.
Yeah, well, gana is not something na sarili lang. You have to understand na that is also outside. You know, the forces outside. So mapapansin nyo, iba akong tumingin sa konteksto, no? It's an intersection of that structure na nasa labas mo at ikaw bilang tao na agent, right? So what I will argue, kay sino po yung nagtanong? Ano pong pangalan niya?
Ito po, nasa screen po natin, si Kuya PJ.
Si
po.
PJ. PJ,
Yes.
alam mo, ang totoo nun, ang masasuggest ko talaga sa'yo is one, tingnan mo yung mga bagay na may control ka at yung wala kang control. Kasi yung may control ka, mariregain mo yung ganang yun kasi ikaw yung kaya mong you can actually work that out, right? Oo.
Yes po.
Pero yung mga bagay na wala kang control, yun yung dapat natanggapin mo na dahil wala kang control, ibig sabihin nun, wala ikaw power for that, right? O, bigyan ko kayo ng konkretong wala kang
Yes,
gana
please
kasi
po.
lasinggero ang tatay mo. Wala kang gana, nawalan ka ng gana kasi off yung mother mo or yung boyfriend mo ganito yung ginawa. Kaya ko sinasabi is that wala kang control doon eh. You cannot imagine, napaka-ideal. So you're putting burden on yourself kung gusto mong baguhin yung mga wala kang control. Right? So that's the whole point. Pero, ma-empower ka kapag ka magiging open ka sa possibilities. So PJ, yung bang our life is a continuous discovery of what you really want and what the desires of your heart would be. Medyo yun yung medyo exciting, no? Kasi it takes a while when you discover kung nasan yung desire of your heart. Pero pagka na-discover mo siya, alagaan mo siya, dun uusbong yung gana. For example, right sorry pero gagawin ko example to. Kumuha ka ng course na hindi mo gusto. Ayaw mo talaga. So right from the start, ayaw mo na talaga siya, right? Oo. So paulit ka. Pero yung bagay na yun, meron kang control. Kasi course mo yun eh. Naka-enter ka na dyan eh. So you should not force yourself into saying, pero kung kailangan mong gumawa ng decision, then make a decision, right? Sa mga estudyante ko, if they don't like sociology, I tell them, they have to move on. They just have to move on kasi hindi ko mabibigay sa iyo yung gana mo sa buhay, right? Hindi siya ma-make up basta-basta kasi it's a choice that you need to make. It's not an inspiration that will just go down and inspire you. Part 'yon, pero ang ganang sinasabi ko is hindi yung natural na gana ng taste buds, but rather our excitement to live life. And ewan ko, tingin ko sa inyo yung USC nyo, nagbibigay sa inyo ng gana eh. No? Alam mo yon, it's giving some kind of meaning na parang, wow, sige, ano pa tayo, mag-work pa tayo. Pero if you are not part of USC, anong ginagawa mo? Ganun ka rin ba ka-excited sa buhay and everything? Yung iba, arts. Yung iba, creative ways. Yung iba, pagbabasa. Kasi alam mo talaga problema nito, kaya ka nawawalan ng gana kasi marami nakikialam sa'yo. So yun, yun yung mga kaya ang message ko talaga, PJ, is that try to just understand what you can control and what you cannot control. Focus on those things that you can control and bloom from there.
Yes.
Bloom from there, right?
Napakaganda. Napakagandang advice po, Doc. Actually,
thank you very much.
Ang dami kasi talagang factors na nakaka-apekto sa atin sa pamumuhay natin. We just have to learn to accept, move on, move forward. Kaya yan, mag-bloom nga daw ika ni Doc. Yeah, ni Doc Batan. Ayan.
Saka it's important din po to know yourself in order to know kung ano ba yung mga kailangan mong i-control or mga kailangan hindi mo makokontrol. So, I just received another question, Dr. Batan. Are we still accepting questions?
Sige po.
Okay po. Sure po. Ito, Doc. As a student who experienced online learning, what is or what are expected from us by our society, by the society, 2 or 3 years from now? Kumbaga, in the future po, what is expected from us po ba?
Well, generally, whether it's virtual or non-virtual, whether it's physical or face-to-face, no, the expectation for us really is una, for you to gain competence. Kaya nag-shift na yung ano natin, yung ating educational system. Hindi lang dito, kundi competence talaga, skill ba? So, whether it's face-to-face or virtual, online, ang hope natin is you gain competence. Dapat meron kayong skill sa research, sa communication, kahit nasa bahay, dapat napapractice nyo yun, pagsusulat and everything. Kasi ultimately, kailangan nyo ng skill dahil sa dalawang bagay. Una, para sa hanap buhay. At
Yes.
ikalawa, para maging maayos kayong mamamayan ng bansang ito. Kasi kung wala kayong competence, 2 to 3 years from now, babagsak yung level ng ano natin, ng ating economy. Pabagsak na siya dahil may pandemya, pero ang point is that we have to continuously struggle para matuto kayo, right? Ang problema sa henerasyon natin is that tayo na nakaranas ng pandemya, lahat tayo nangangapa kung paano, how can we make this work, lalo na tumataas yung COVID cases natin the past few days. Ibig sabihin, gusto na natin mag face-to-face, pwede na, pero wala namang bakuna. So kaya kasi sinasabi ko, mga bagay-bagay hindi natin control. Kahit gusto mo, pero hindi mo control yung nangyayari, wala kang magagawa. Pero nananatili yung tatlong kailangan. Competence, na may kaugnayan sa employment nyo, sana gainful employment, na may kaugnayan syempre dun sa mahalagang citizenship issue at engagement. So ibig sabihin, kung sakaling hindi kayo magkakaroon ng maayos na skill, mahirap kayo ma-employ. At pag wala kayong trabaho, ano mangyayari sa bansa natin? So iyon yung big things that are really interconnected that you have to always look into. Kumbaga, once na tinatamad ka pag-aaral, once na alam mo wala ka natututunan, wag mong isipin na mapapasa mo siya. Kasi pwede kang 1.0. In fact, ngayon, hindi nga ako naniniwala ngayon sa mga achievers Kasi kahit naman ako, hindi naman ako makapagbagsak ngayon, right? Kasi pandemya. So, kahit sabihin mo achiever ka, na-achieve ka, kasi talagang lahat naman naka-achieve. Lahat nga ng batch ngayon, Dean's Lister Kasi nga, ang dami-dami nataas ang grade, right? Ang tawag dyan, grade inflation. So, ibig sabihin, hindi yun ang mahalaga. Ang mahalaga ngayon is, may natututunan ka ba? Kaya pag wala ka natutunan, magsabi ka. Kasi may impact yon sa magiging employment possibilities mo, opportunities mo, saka syempre, yung magiging role mo sa lipunan.
Yes.
So I really would not want you to just think that you don't have a responsibility basta makapasa lang. Hindi, para talaga i-encourage ko sa inyo lahat, focus on the outcomes. Focus on the competence na kailangan nyong alam. Ngayon, kung mas may alam kayo sa teacher nyo, sabihin nyo sa university president nyo na mas may alam po kami dito kaysa doon sa, para ma-challenge natin yung system, right? Oo. Kasi kailangan na competence outcomes based tayo. Na sa gitna ng lahat ng to, meron kayong computer skills, writing skills, organizational skills, lahat ng klaseng skills. Kahit virtual, for your employment, for your gainful employment, and for you to become better engaged citizens of this country.
Thank you po, Doc.
Thank you very much for that po. And before, may last question lang po tayo, Doc. No? Before we move on to the last question, I would just like to add some insights regarding what she said po. Because the USC Weekends Biyahe's main purpose talaga, yung sinabi niyo po, Doc, hindi lang po para sa amin, kundi para sa institusyon namin, sa komunidad namin, at pati na rin sa bansa namin. That's the journey, that's the biyahe that USC Weekends really wants to achieve. So,
Yes.
Ate Mikay?
Yes, ito po. Tama naman po kayo dyan, Doc. At talaga naman na kailangan naman talaga natin mag-strive kahit na anong sitwasyon pa tayo at ang nararanasan natin ngayon. Kasi hindi lang to para sa atin, kundi para sa bansa natin, sa pamilya natin, sa lahat ng taong makaka-encounter natin. At mabuti nang handa tayo sa bawat sitwasyon na harapin natin. Kaya patuloy lang tayo mag-strive, students. Alam namin na nahihirapan tayo pare-pareho. Hindi lang mga kabataan, yung mga employees ngayon, mga workers, mga magulang natin. Pare-pareho tayo mag-strive kasi para sa kabutihan, sa betterment ng lahat.
Ayan. Totoo po yan. So, Doc, for the very last question, this is from Dr. Lucero. I'll read her question po. Yung iba, hindi pa nagkakagana kasi umaasa pa. Should we still wait things to get better or accept that this may stay and just deal with it?
I would love the latter. Alam mo yon, yung ibig sabihin, alam mo, ang thesis ng standby ay waithood. Kailangan kang maghintay. Yun yung sumpa ng standby na issue siya ng paghihintay. Right? Pag tinanong mo yung mga respondents, standby respondents ko, iniintay nila magandang trabaho. Gaano ka nagkatagal naghihintay? On the average, it's about 3 to 6 years na naghihintay. Right? So kaya ngayong nagkaroon tayo ng pandemya, we have to be clear about the fact na we have to continue to imagine na it will get better. We just have to deal with it, right? You really have to know how to deal with it. Be creative. Sabi ko nga, may mga bagay-bagay na ikaw ay makokontrol. Be creative, discover things. Baka meron kang alam na talent na hindi mo pa nakikita. Nasa loob ka ng bahay, baka meron kang isang sulok dyan na hindi mo pa nalilinis. Alam mo yun? So kumbaga, if there's one thing beautiful that I can say qualitatively that I think is in a way achievement, is spending my time with my family, which I never thought would ever happen because nung 16 years old pa lang ako, nasa Manila na ako, nagdo-dorm na ako, nag-aaral na ako all throughout. And then umalis ako ng bansa for many years just to study. Bumalik ako dito, trabaho. At alam niyo yung trabaho, di ba? Na wala ka, nandito ako sa Rizal, tapos pupunta ka sa Manila. Sa Manila ka na lang. So call na kayo and everything. But this pandemic has allowed many of us to work na nadyan si mama, nadyan si daddy, nadyan yung pamangking ko. Siyempre nagkakagalit. Siyempre ayaw nilang nadito ako kasi stricto ako, right? Oo. Pero mas marami kaming pagkain, mas masaya, mas nagbabarbecue kami palagi, right? Alam mo yung tipo na, my God, how was this possible na hindi ako na-absent, right? Imagine, naimbitahan niyo ako dito na nandito ako sa loob ng room ko. Kailan pa nangyari to ever, no? So all my speaking engagement, dapat nakaayos ka, alam mo, if there are two things na wala ako ngayon talaga, na tingin ko walang kwenta, pantalon saka sapatos, saka medyas. Kasi ubos na lahat ng t-shirt ko. Pero lahat ng pantalon ko, sapatos ko, wala, nasira na. Dahil hindi siya ginagamit. Right? So meaning it might be a joke, a beautiful humor. But yes, dealing with the situation has something to do with seeing it in a way that you know you will make sense out of it and you will find meaning in it. Iba-iba tayo ng sitwasyon, pero yung pagbibigay mo ng kahulugan sa sitwasyon matters, no? And do not problematize those things na hindi mo kinokontrol. Only problematize those things na kaya mong kontrolin, right? Na pwede pala makipag-usap kay daddy na mas matagal kesa 2 seconds kasi wala kayong choice. Pwede pa lang ikaw rin ay maghalaman kasama nila, 'di ba? At pwede ka rin magdilig na dati hindi mo ginagawa, right? At pwede ka rin maglinis ng bahay na binigay mo lang yung responsibility sa mga magulang mo. Pandemic situation can actually be an opportunity for us to build relationships.
Yes.
And so that's why I am happy that even amidst these things, I think we become human by engaging into beautiful things that make our relationship flourish and bloom.
Yes po.
That was so beautiful po.
Naalala ko yung sinabi ni Doc Pami last time na this pandemic made us apart but bring us closer together din at the same time. Diba? Totoo naman po talaga. Thank you po, Doc, for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much po, Doc. That was so beautiful po. And for that, any final messages to our viewers today? Any last words?
Well, if there's one thing that I would love you to remember is that iba ang nag-aral sa may pinag-aralan. sa lahat ng sinabi ko, lahat tayo nag-aaral, pero sa mundo, pag lumabas na kayo sa CEU, just make sure na dapat may pinag-aralan kayo, hindi lang kayo nag-aral. And it has a lot to do with the fact na I wish I could see you sa mall, I could see you sa palengke, sa Divisoria, and then just tell me, you know what, iba ang nag-aral sa may pinag-aralan, Yayet, right? Dr.
Yes, okay, Doc.
Yes, at dahil doon sa may pinag-aralan ka, sigurado ako, ililibre mo ako ng dinner o ng merienda pag nakita ko. Right?
No worries po. Parang abangan natin
Noted
si Doc sa UST, Char.
Yes.
Thank you very much po.
Salamat
Maraming salamat po ulit, Doc. Maraming
Thank you
salamat
very much po. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye,
See you soon.
Ayan, once again, that is Dr. Clarence M. Batan, Dr. Yayet. Ang dami kong napulot po sa inyo today. Ayun nga, iba ang nag-aral sa may pinag-aralan. So, tandaan natin yan, guys. At isa pa, totoo din naman ang sabi ni Doc na especially with the situations we're experiencing now, the challenges, the changes, we should look at the better possibilities, deal with it, move on, and bloom from there. Yan.
Yes.
So, thank you very much po, Doc, for gracing us your time, for your appreciation, for giving us the gift of knowledge of life, and for sharing lessons that we will treasure for the rest of our lives. Maraming salamat po.
Exactly. And I hope we can all give Dr. Batan a virtual round of applause, everyone. Yan.
Nalakasan ko na yung akin.
I hope you all learn from Dr. Batan, everyone. Ako nag-enjoy talaga. So anyway, to keep the ball rolling, I would like to call in our roulette of names for a special raffle portion. Yes, may pa-raffle pa rin tayo sa second day ng ating biyahe sa USC Weekends 2021.
Tama yan. At meron din tayong raffle for the rest of our activities or rest of our seminars for the whole USC weekends. Ayan, so ayan, makikita nyo. Kaya ilalabas na natin ang ating ruleta. We will be picking 5 lucky winners from our roulette of names who will win 500 pesos worth of load each. So, ayan, iba na yan at isang buwan na data na yan, guys. So, makakatulong especially now that we're online. And so, sobrang swerte talaga ng ating magiging winners.
Totoo. And by the way, guys, all the names in the roulette of names here, as you can see in the screen, are from our registration list. That is why I hope everyone watching here right now is officially registered in today's event para naman magkaroon kayo ng mas malaking chance manalo.
Yan, totoo. Sabi ko nga kanina, sa lahat ng activities natin, meron tayong raffle. So make sure, tama si Pami, register kayo sa ating mga registration link at make sure na nanonood din kayo kasi para maagapan nyo, ay baka ako na yung nanalo. Ganon. Ayan. So as usual, as Lawrence, kindly screenshot your name once you have been picked by our roulette of names and send it to the USC Manila's Facebook page, CEU Manila University Student Council page, and so that your prizes will be given to you after the USC Weekends 2021. So, ready na ba tayo, Pami? Ready na ba kayo?
Yes! Let's go!
So, let's now roll the roulette of names.
Sino kaya ang ating first winner? Ayan, we have Miss Kiban Krisha May. Congratulations, you are our first winner. You will receive 500 pesos worth of load. I hope you screenshot your name. Ayan, congratulations.
Congratulations. Now for another one naman.
Sino kaya ang susunod na winner?
There you, wow. Kala mo ikaw, no? Okay, congratulations, Miss Pamela Marigondon. Again, screenshot your name and please send it to our Facebook page. Ayan. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, isa pa. We are in our third.
Meron lang tayong 5. Tama ba?
Yes, 5 lucky winners. Kaya, ayan, congratulations, Julian Zena Santiago. You are our third raffle winner for today. I hope you are here and you can screenshot your name. Congratulations!
Ayan. Second to the last.
Yes. May dalawa pang swerte mananalo for today.
There you go. Congratulations, Miss Shaira Marie Villamor. Ayan, mag-screenshot ka na ng iyong name para naman maklaim mo ang iyong prize after USC Weekends celebration. Ayan.
Yes, okay. Congratulations. Now, for our last winner. Let's see.
Ako na yan.
Sana din pala, hindi lang kayo registered ngayong event, pati na rin sa ating elections. Okay, who is our last winner? Congratulations, John Patrick Cabreros. You are the last winner for today. Congratulations!
Congratulations to all our winners. Ayan, again, please do screenshot your name and make sure to send it to us to our official Facebook page.
Yes.
Ayan, congratulations!
So that is it for our special raffle portion. Congratulations again, everyone. So moving on, earlier this week, the USC Manila conducted one of our weekly competitions entitled Quick Talk, just like in our Leadership Congress last October. So the aim of this competition is to show the insights and personal experiences of individuals on how they can change or shape their mindset and how they can adapt this to our emerging Escalarian culture. That is why for another icebreaker, let us watch these Quick Talk video entry winners.
Hi guys, I just want to share with you. Grapes must be crushed to make wine. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Olives are pressed to release oil. And some seeds grow in the darkness. So whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, confused, or lost in the darkness, you are in a powerful place of transformation. So you just have to trust the process, okay?
Hi guys! I just want to share something with you today. Are you ready for it? Did you know that a shark in a fish tank will grow 8 inches, but in the ocean, it will grow up to 8 feet or more? Always remember that a shark will never outgrow its environment. And the same is true about you. Always look out for yourself when you're surrounded by negative and close-minded people, because that way you will never grow. Change your environment and watch yourself grow. It is never too late for you to grow and improve to be a better person. There are 3 things for you to keep in mind. Number 1 is to always protect your peace. Number 2 is to set your boundaries and limitations. And last but not the least, don't be afraid to cut off toxic people.
Hello guys! As we observe, there are unstoppable changes from what we have practiced before. Adopting emerging culture is not that easy, but always be reminded and be prepared that everything will change from what it was before. Like our culture that's changing or evolving each day. That's why we need to be optimistic because there are things change on how their environment changed them. One of the best example for it is gender equality. Like before, women should be at home and men should be the one to work. But now, both women and men can work to earn for a living. You will be left behind if you will not try to embrace the changes brought by the society where we belong. So guys, I know it takes time to adapt something new to us, but we should accept it like how we want to be accepted.
Have you ever been to a point where nothing seems right and the only option is giving up? Wake up and ask yourself if what you are doing right now is moving you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. The only way to keep yourself from burning out is to make sure your fire has lit up those around you. You know, the secret of happiness is not always doing what you want to do, but in always wanting to do what you are doing. As weak as you are, as tired as you are, and as many mistakes you make, always keep moving forward because it's not about starting the race, but rather reaching the finish line.
Yes, there you have it. Congratulations to our winners, Quick Talk winners. Ayan, you have truly inspired all of us through this content, and we can all see the efforts you put into making this video. So congratulations again to our Quick Talk winners.
Yes, that is true. Congratulations to all our winners, and I hope you can join our other competitions these coming weeks kasi madami pa tayong paparating na contests para sa inyo. Okay, so just like how you support us in our activities, thank you very much. We also encourage all of you to support the other events and organizations in our Central Escolar University.
Yes, that's right, Pami. So kindly support the future events of the university like the University Recognition Day. Ayan, nakikita nyo sa ating screen. O, di ba? Nakaka-excite naman talaga because of the pandemic. Di natuloy ito last year, as you can remember, di ba? So, sayang. Pero this year, ay talaga namang sobrang effort ang ating university to push this event because it's a day where we will be recognized and appreciated by the efforts we've made. So, ayan, i-support natin yan. Malapit na din ang ating UniVrecog.
Exactly, and we also have another. We would like to encourage all the dancers out there. Alam kong marami dyan ang passionate and skilled when it comes to dancing. Kaya naman inaanyayahan kayo ng CEU Pep Squad sumali sa kanilang auditions. You can support them by visiting their Facebook page here in the screen so that you may know how you can audition and join the CEU Pep Squad. Okay, for another announcement, we would also like to encourage all the student council officers, school-based and university-wide organization officers to participate in our BYAHE's next event, our Gameverse, the third weekend of the USC Weekends 2021, Husay, Hubog, Kakayahan.
Ayan, nakaka-excite ako, Pami. Next week na yan, guys. So be ready next Saturday, March 20, 2021. And mark your calendar, student leaders, because it's your time to relax and have some fun while playing games with your co-officers. So with this, please be notified through your respective group chats regarding the guidelines and the registration link for this stuff.
Yes, and I hope everyone here can also attend the Thanksgiving Mass for tomorrow, the Alay Handog Pasasalamat, and together we offer our thanksgiving to our Lord. Always be guided accordingly by visiting us at Facebook. All right. At this moment, we would like to invite the Vice President for Student Affairs and the USC Manila Advisor, Dr. Carlito Biolaer, for his closing message.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Clarence Batan for accepting our invitation to be our speaker in today's summit. His bubbly spirit was infectious, and his candor was endearing. Hearing from him we have come to terms with some things. Each one of us has a mindset of our own. We have our own beliefs we hold about ourselves. This mindset is very powerful because it determines our behavior, our outlook, and mental attitude, which either cripples us to suck in our own world or pushes us to explore beyond our reach. It is likened to some colored glasses that we wear. Wear blue colored glasses, and everything takes a shade of blue. A green one, and everything takes or turns green. Dark glasses, and everything becomes dark. Even in daylight, everything gets grayish. Things are not what they seem because we are wearing colored glasses. Change that colored glasses into a mindset, and that will define how you look at things, but this time clearly. But always, you cannot preclude the important roles of the people around you, especially in the formation of your mindset. Research studies would say that there are two kinds of mindset: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. If ours is a fixed one, the risk is high because it prevents us from learning and growing. It is even more risky if the mindset bends towards the negative because it will draw us more negativity into our lives because we do not recognize change and process. As students, it will most likely draw negative academic outcomes and negative moods. I am not saying that you embrace a growth mindset because that is just the perfect one. Okay? I will leave that to you for you to decide. But at least you have something positive to begin with. The belief that you are in control, as mentioned by Dr. Batan, of your own ability and can still learn and improve is the key to making yourself better. The growth mindset will not remove hard work, will still require effort, and would still demand persistence. But that could wane or diminish in time unless you have that underlying belief that you can do it. How you did a thing could either point to an ability or inability. You're intelligent, you are brave, you are strong, or you are dumb, or you are weak. Those remain as perceptions. How you will live that out or how you weed that out remains to be seen. What you can do better tomorrow and your best the next time is something that will allow you to learn more and accomplish more. Things will not always be according to what or how you want it to be. In times of setbacks, how would you react? How would you transition? Our mindsets will dictate how you and me react to these things. And these reactions are the manifestations of that underlying and enduring attitude that you have kept and even nurtured through the years. Remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, or let us put it in a simple language that is common to all of us as an experience: the turtle and the rabbit. The rabbit was so certain that he would win, that he sat down and went to sleep during the race. The turtle just continued to move very slowly, but without stopping, always thinking that he had a chance or a chance of winning. When the rabbit woke up, he started running as fast as he could, but he was just too late. The turtle had reached the finish line and won the race. The moral lesson of the story is that you can be more successful by doing things slowly, maybe, but steadily, rather than by acting quickly and yet carelessly. The rabbit had a fixed mindset. He believed that his innate ability would always mean that he would win whatever he did. The turtle had a growth mindset. He believed that he needed to work hard and keep going if he was to win. He was also not afraid of failure, or he would not never have agreed to raise the rabbit. When we speak of changing culture, we are thinking now as a group and not anymore as just individuals. If you as Scholarians would have a growth mindset, how should we react to situations? Precisely, we are conducting this summit so that as a group, we establish a community mindset as we journey together, helping each other in finding meanings in our lives under this new normal. If we do that, we begin to establish a culture in CEU, something that we share together. It is my hope and I pray that we allow ourselves to find ways of becoming better persons in a shared experience like this. Learning together under the new normal. Kaya ba nating maging isang tahanan tungo sa isang pagbabago? Sa gulo at ingay ng buhay, tahana. Sa iyong mga katanungan na walang kasagutan, tahana. Sa inis at galit mo sa hindi makatarungang pakikitungo sa iyo bilang mag-aaral, anak, kaibigan, tahana. Halika, ito ang iyong tahanang Sentro Escolar University. Thank you and blessings to all of you.
Thank you, Doc. Alam nyo, it is true that our mindset, not just any mindset, but a growth mindset, according nga kay Doc, is very powerful in creating a greater world, not just for us, but for others as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Olaer, for always inspiring us. And in this light, everyone, I know we have all witnessed how our environment and our mindsets have changed. And I believe that we also have all the chances to bring change to our country. And the best way to do that is to register and vote. Ayan.
Of course, let us all practice our right to vote and to also be responsible in voting. So be sure to register this upcoming election. You may also notify us if you have already done so, because we are looking forward to a 100% youth registration, especially in our part here in CEU.
To register and vote.
Yan, tama nga si Pami. We shall practice our rights to vote. So, all right. To formally end our event, let us all proudly sing the CEU hymn performed by the CEU Concert Band.
for joining and participating in today's e-conference, YAPAK Hakbang Karunungan, with the sub-theme, Changing Mac, Mindset, Attitude, and Culture.
Yes, and we hope to be with you on our next stop tomorrow, March 14, 2021, for our Thanksgiving Mass. And once again, this has been your host, Micaela Alisa V. Flores, your University Student Council Manila Treasurer.
And I am Pamela Grace C. Corpus, reminding you all na tuloy-tuloy ang ating biyahe. Kaya paratit lagi, mabuhay ka,
mahal naming pamantasan. See you all
tomorrow! Thank you po everyone for watching, to all our advisors.
Yes. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, everyone.
Are we still live? Are we still live?
Yes po.
Okay, say bye-bye to
Yes,
everyone.
po.
Thank you so much
Thank you, everyone.
to everyone. Thank